Let me spell it out for you. Your question about...
is confused.
Excuse
I don't think he really has understood what he's heard.
Lizzie, listen. Your question about... Your silly question, even after I made it clear that which version do you accept? Why do I say silly? Because I already stated every single reading of these 10 imams are authentic and they are acceptable. So you can come along with a million differences if you're able to. Listen,
you still haven't showed me exactly how they're authentic. You've not shown them. You've just repeated again and again. They're authentic. They're authentic. They're authentic. Just
what you don't understand is this
doesn't
point.
make it authentic.
What I am saying
that you have these two differences of meaning means that something has gone wrong along the way.
Okay, our brother has. Okay, let me address that particular point. Okay, about authenticity. The point.
Vocabulary means that you use something in the translation. You've got different words for things that don't necessarily.
Yeah, right. But the point about. Thank you. Yeah, very good. Now, the point about authenticity, right? The point about authenticity, I'm sorry, is that he has been talking about change of transmission all this time, right? That is our criterion. We have two criteria for our authenticity, okay? One is the oral transmission and the other one is the written transmission. On each of them, we have chains of transmission for all the different readings.
That is our criteria. Chains are reliable.
Because there are thousands of books.
I was trying to do.
There are thousands of. No, wait.
How do I know those people are reliable?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I will answer that.
They're very, very different.
I will answer that. The way we know is the biographies of each individual in the chain of narration. The biography of each individual in the chain of narration is known. Has been examined from the point of view of the truthfulness of the narrator. If there's any doubt.
Oh, so that's their truthful character. So you can tell absolutely whether or not someone is truthful.
You can't tell absolutely what you can tell is you can tell within human knowledge. Okay? These are human means of transmission. Okay? The chains of transmission are human.
How can you just look at somebody
there is no in the whole realm of human.
Nobody's totally truthful. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Let's not be dishonest.
Perfectly truthful in character.
What you're being doing regarding honesty, what you're being doing is being dishonest about how history is done, how authenticity is established about anything.
I'm the one being dishonest.
Yeah, you're being. You see, because name me one thing. Name me one
thing. As long as they're truthful in character and pious Muslims, somehow everything that they transmit, it must be true.
No. There's not the only.
Bible is far more honest.
There's also the issue.
It's
far more honest about.
You don't have the Bible.
Yes, we do have the Bible.
Let's return.
Okay.
Now listen.
Disciples of Jesus telling embarrassing stories about themselves.
Let's talk about the
rule. The criterion of embarrassment is a lie. There can be no greater lie than the criterion of embarrassment.
Glossed over about people's perfection and truthfulness, and it doesn't ring true. It does not ring true.
To accept some sort of transmission already from her own.
But let's come back. The reason why I was going through step by step of transmission history is to clearly answer those questions you eventually ask. How do we know they're trustworthy? How do we know they're reliable? But you want to know the differences. So what I was doing is this.
I want to know how you respond to the differences. Do you acknowledge the differences are there?
He himself has said that there are differences. He said
there
are 10 readings. He said there are 10 readings.
He has a comprehension problem.
He just said there are 10 readings. He said that about 20 times.
Did I not say? Okay, one question. Sorry. No. One question I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you one question.
There's a theological problem. If you want to be saved, if you want to do the will of Allah, and it's saying two different things,
you've got the wrong.
Which recitation are you going to follow?
Lizzie, do you want to know the answer? Any of them, all of them.
And they're
so,
not.
what you didn't know is this. I've been keep telling you is this. Every single of these 10 recitation is mutawatir, is acceptable by the Muslims. Lay must transmit it. Multiple chains of transmission. There's no doubt.
Corroboration. Corroborated chains.
Right? So what I was establishing is this.
But you're still saying there's one Quran. I'm sorry, you cannot have.
That's our definition of the one Quran.
It's just totally
our definition of the Quran is that which comes from Muhammad.
Lizzie, let me give you an example. This Quran has a chapter called Surah Al-Fatiha. And this is recited by one of the Imams, Warsh. And this is how he recited it. And it is recited...
And it says, whatever it is, fought. And the other one says, were killed. That's two different
in Surah Al-Fatiha, yeah?
Which one are you going to believe?
Surah Al-Fatiha.
I don't know the numbers. I don't know.
Do you know what number Surah Al-Fatiha is? No? It's chapter 1.
Okay, yeah,
simple one. Simple
right.
one.
So don't confuse it, chapter 2, 3 and 4. So when I said chapter 1, so Imam Warsh...
It shouldn't make a difference. It shouldn't make a difference which
Lizzie.
surah it is. Okay, you can have Surah 210. What else could you have? Yes, this is what I was talking about. Surah 3, 146, 40 were killed. Okay, you could say Surah 34, 17, we punish in the Hafs, in the warships, get punished.
Can
Okay.
Brother.
In
Just
Surah
one
2,
person
in
speaking.
Surah 2, ayah 140, it says, the Hafs says, you say.
I've
and
heard them all
they
in your
say.
3 previous
It says, they
videos,
say,
right?
Okay, it says Surah 2, 184, a redemption by feeding a poor man. And here it says a redemption by feeding poor men. Is it one man or is it poor men? I mean,
Do you want me to
there are
answer
lots
them?
of different...
Do you want me to answer them?
Yeah, but what we shall. Oh, here we go. Surah 2, 259.
carry on.
You don't
It's
realise
the
what
Hafs,
it's
we shall
to,
raise
yeah?
up.
Okay, you know what?
lots of
Give me
different
1,000.
meaning.
Give me
We
1,000.
shall make
Sorry,
alive.
that's not enough.
We shall
Give me
make
1,000.
alive.
Let her say
Give me
then we can
1,000.
answer one.
There shouldn't really even be one.
Why not?
There shouldn't
Oh,
really be
so
one.
now you see what?
If, as you were saying, there's
Lizzie,
one
You cannot
Quran.
define the
Now,
Quran for us.
that's
You can't
you
define
see,
for us what the
The
Quran
Quran
is.
is not from Lizzie. The
Yeah.
Quran is from the Prophet who
Yeah.
allowed. I'm
Who
reminding you
doesn't
again.
understand, who didn't
Excuse
seem
me.
to
What do you mean he
get
doesn't
Lizzie.
understand? Maybe it's you who don't understand.
One text.
Lizzie, listen.
Maybe you don't understand the
Lots of
nature of the
different
Quran.
versions
The
of the
Quran does not have to
Okay.
follow
Let-
your
let-
rules
let-
as text.
let- one
And
person
yet,
speak.
you say it's
Lizzie.
preserved tablets, not 7 preserved tablets,
Lizzie.
it's 1 preserved
The Quran
tablet.
does not have to
You
follow
a
your rules
theological
or what a
problem.
text is.
You have a theological problem with this one
If you
Quran
keep on
business.
talking,
And I do not think
if
that
you
you're
keep on
Muhammad. I don't think Muhammad
Lizzie.
really understood
Can
what
it-
he's
let-
saying.
You don't understand the
what you
Quranic text.
fail to realize is this. When the Prophet allowed to recite in different ways, were they exactly the same reading? Or were they reading it differently?
You tell me, they're reading it differently. And that's why he comes
Okay.
on and goes, oh,
Was
no
this
problem.
hang on, was
Sounds
this
like he just wanted to stop an argument.
excuse me? Was this difference difference
you
enough to
assume
say there
too
were
much.
difference? Or were there no difference at all? There must be difference enough. When the two companions, Umar bin al-Khattab, Hisham bin Hakim, recited Surah Al-Furqan, when Umar noticed that he recites differently, was this
Did it bother?
significantly?
Trying to say, did it bother the Prophet?
It obviously bothered them.
You're not listening.
Why did they went to Muhammad? Why
Listen.
did they go to Muhammad to ask
What
for
I'm
clarification?
telling you is this. Do you understand from that narration that there was a significant difference enough to say there's a
Okay, let me ask
difference?
a question, okay?
Excuse me, answer the question
I think what
first.
you're trying to say is actually, when Muhammad heard these different recitations, that he thought, actually, there's not much in it, I'll just let them go, okay?
No,
Not at all.
wrong
No,
again.
no, no,
Let me correct
no.
you again. These companions, what did they say? I learned directly from the Prophet. So, what happened? The Prophet taught them.
Yeah, why did he teach them two different
slowly,
things?
excuse me.
Good
Because
question.
God gave
Good
him two
question.
different things.
Sure,
No,
what
no,
the
this is
right
from
one
God.
was. So
This is
he
from
did
God.
Why
it
are we
two different
confusing several
ways.
issues? First issue is this. Did
This is from
he,
God.
Interesting.
see, first education for you is
no,
this.
No, I think you should ask these questions that you don't want to ask.
I am answering.
The Muslims
Why
have
would
asked
he
these
teach
questions.
the kind of the same thing?
Lizzie,
It's an mention. It's an
I
mention.
am answering. So, for your learning, for your education, why did the Prophet allow companions to recite the Quran in 7 ahruf? The
I don't
Prophet
know.
explained
You'll
it.
have to. I don't know. Somebody explain to me why did he allow that?
It's
I
there in
think
our
it's very
tradition.
odd.
It's there in our tradition for 1,437 years. Did you
So
not
why
know
did he
this?
allow it?
Hang on.
He's about
Do you
to
know?
say.
Do you know this? Do you know about this? Or is it going to be a new research and discovery?
Okay, well, just tell me, go on.
Okay.
Why did he
hang on.
allow it? Why
do you,
did he allow
Do
it?
you know? I want you to say yes, I do, I don't.
I don't think I do. Go on.
Right.
Good.
Educate me. You're
Good,
keen
good,
to educate me.
good,
Why
good.
did you educate me?
That's advanced.
Very good. The Prophet allowed, he said, in my ummah, in my community, there are people who are unlettered. They're weak, they're old, and they're little ones. They're people who cannot even pronounce properly, right? These are statements the Prophet made about the people. Illiterate people, they're old people. We know there are people within several tribes within Arabia
People
who
are weak in
spoke
the mind.
Arabic. They could not, let me finish. He said, I want to educate you, let me educate you then. They could
Okay, you've got
not.
30 more seconds to educate me.
Why?
'Cause I don't-
Why?
Because this is a debate.
level of ignorance.
And
It's not a
otherwise
debate.
it
He's making
turns
the
into-
point.
The level of your
otherwise-
learning is only 30 seconds worth.
No, because otherwise it turns into
You can only
monologue.
learn-
He has to make the
So
point to
that's
make it
not
clear.
fair. He's already made most
So
of the point.
ba-
I
basically-
get
It's
his
gonna
be
point.
It's going to be
I've
fair.
actually
You have to
made
be
his
the
point.
sincere on both
comprehension,
sides.
the-
Talking about
the-
fair.
Yeah, so
You
he's
have to be
actually
humble.
he's
Brother,
done most of the
brother.
talking.
The
He's
The
done
breadth
most of
of
the
your
talking.
comprehension is only what? Up to 30 seconds. You can't understand it more than that.
No, if you
So
can't
maybe,
make your point
okay,
quickly,
so very good,
then
very good.
Suggest that
Hang
you're
on. So now what I've learned is this.
not a
What I
good
will
topic.
do, I will make 30-second points for each point I'm going to make. There are several points to make.
No, don't make 37 points. That's not right.
Right.
Can
So
I
the
come
first
back
point.
to you? Okay, so you-
no.
It's the Quran
no.
al-Kareem. Deal with it carefully.
So the Quran, the Prophet allowed because there are illiterate people, the weak people, the people who are unable to recite. So the Prophet allowed This
Sorry.
flexibility,
Just because
you're
you're
interrupting me when I'm
illiterate doesn't
explaining.
mean that you can't recite. It's not the point. Muhammad was
he was not
illiterate,
making
and he
that point.
recited. Just because you're
No,
illiterate
no,
doesn't
no,
mean
no,
you can't
no.
recite.
He was making the
Why
point that
can
there
an
are
old
differences
person
amongst
not
people,
recite?
not
Okay,
at the
Why can't
context.
a young person not recite?
Just to demonstrate to you, sorry, listen. My name is Mansur Ahmed. Can't tell what's my name exactly the way my name is to be pronounced. Mansur Ahmed.
So you are trying to get to a thing about this being about
No.
accents.
Not only
Excuse me.
accent.
Go ahead.
That's an example.
No. You said, why recitation? I will demonstrate to you.
This says.
Tell me my name back. Mansur
Mansur
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
No.
Say again?
Okay, but hang on, wait a minute.
Say again.
You guys,
Excuse me, listen.
was I saying his name?
No.
Were you pretty
said
sure that I
Ahmed.
was saying his
No,
name?
you said Ahmed. My name is not Ahmed.
Did you agree that I was saying his name?
No, my name is not Ahmed.
Did you think I was saying something different to your name? No, you
What
knew
you recited.
that I was
Oh,
saying,
very good.
Yes.
Let me answer the question. No, let me finish.
You are saying it's
Listen,
about accent.
wait.
You are
No,
saying
it's partly about
accent,
accent.
right?
No.
Okay, when this is about me,
Lizzie,
It's also about
Lizzie.
meaning.
Are about me.
Every time you
when
get
you said,
refuted-
I said Mansur Ahmed,
Say a
okay,
point
if I'd have said,
But
I
I
don't
want
know,
to come to this
Joe
again.
Blogs,
Lizzie, listen.
that's totally different.
Lizzie,
but you
listen.
can glean what I was meaning.
Lizzie,
This
excuse me.
shows, these differences show completely different meanings.
To my point, back to my point.
So I'm sorry, this point doesn't wash.
Lizzie.
It doesn't wash. It doesn't address the issue of the fact that there are different
finished?
meanings.
Have you
It
finished?
talks about different pronunciations.
I will make a
It
point
does
about
not address
meaning in
the
a
fact that there are different meanings in
Lizzie,
these texts.
you objected to the reasonings why the Prophet allowed the flexibility in reading in seven ahruf. You said, oh, why would they have a problem with recitation? So you brought the recitation up. I didn't. You did.
No, you told me. You
No,
told me that some
I
old
never
people
said
would
it
have
was
a
just
problem, that some
recitation.
young people would have a problem with the
You see, you're
recitation.
confusing
She said,
ahruf and
so
taf.
actually it's going to make different recitations from different people. That was the point that
You're
you were
confusing
making.
two different things.
Listen,
You're confusing two.
recitation is not just recitation with accents, right?
Oh, so why did you do that exercise with me saying your name and then you said, oh,
That
no, you
was-
didn't really say my
that
name?
was nothing to
Because
do with
my
accents.
accent was a bit
That was an
different
That was
to
not
you.
your
Let
accent.
him
That
answer.
was,
That was nothing to do with
illustrate your
accents.
point
No,
at
let him
all.
answer. Let him
So
answer.
that was nothing to do with accents. This is clearly your inability to pronounce certain letters properly. So my name is spelled. Let me finish. Listen.
Did I change
Listen.
the meaning? But didn't you
I'll
all
give you
know
an
that it
example
was
in English.
your name?
Example in
We all
English.
knew that it was
Okay,
your
here's-
name.
here are two
I
words.
didn't say a different name.
Listen.
I didn't say Joe Blogs.
You know-
I said
his
your
point
name.
would have been finished
I said
about
it-
30 seconds
I
ago.
said it slightly different. I would have finished. He would have finished point if he
I
hadn't
know, if you
raised
don't keep
this
interrupting, let him
example.
finish
I
the
was
point. He
just
hasn't even made the
demonstrating
point.
to you and educating you that certain peoples are incapable of uttering certain letters properly because that's the way your vocal cord is trained. If you have enough training, perhaps you can. In Arabia, there are people whose vocal cord, like yours, were not accustomed.
This still
You interrupted
doesn't
me again
address
halfway through.
that the meaning is the thing that's
Lizzie,
the problem.
Lizzie.
It's not your vocal cords. It's not how you pronounce it.
Lizzie.
It's the fact that these words they
Regarding
are
the meaning.
totally
Regarding the
different.
meaning. Lizzie.
They're
No,
totally
it's the
different
same
in
word,
meaning.
same word.
It makes no difference.
Brother, please. You keep forgetting that the differences between the two recitations I haven't touched upon. And you keep saying, why are you talking about only pronunciation, which I am not? So if you are intelligently following this conversation through, I haven't specified the nature of the differences of the seven ahruf. What I was demonstrating to you, what the Prophet said. What the Prophet
You are
said.
looking at the English.
Right.
There are
What
differences,
you're
sounds
doing
in Arabic,
constantly again
but
and
they're very
again
similar. That's the
is
point.
trying to get
These
a
are not very
difference.
similar.
No, you-
These are totally
English,
different.
Lizzie.
These are totally
Lizzie,
different.
there are seven.
And yet you're claiming
In
you've got one
English,
point.
they're
You still have a
different.
huge problem.
You read them in Arabic, they are very
So
good.
when the Prophet allowed them to recite Surah Al-Furqan, was this Surah Al-Furqan or Surah Al-Furqan number 2? Was this surah called Surah Furqan number 2, version 2, or Surah Al-Furqan?
The one with the Umar example.
When
the one with the
Umar
example.
bin al-Khattab and Hisham bin Hakim recited Surah Al-Furqan,
I've been honest with you. I don't speak Arabic, so let's just
I spoke
cut
English
to the
to you.
chase. Okay, you
I
just tell
spoke
me
English to
give me
you.
the numbers of the surah, please. Okay?
Surah 25.
Okay, thank you, Surah 25.
When Umar and Hisham, both of them, may Allah be pleased with them, when they recited Surah Al-Furqan, did Prophet say to them, this is Surah Al-Furqan, chapter 25, number 25a, and this is chapter 25b. Or did he say this is Surah Al-Furqan? This is the same surah.
I don't know. I wasn't
Same
there.
surah.
I wasn't there. But does it?
Our tradition tells
Yeah.
us it's the same surah of the same Quran. So you need to understand is this.
Yes,
There
but
is a-
he's told
you're
the
keep-
Hafs
you're-
people Hang on.
Lizzie, listen,
In Surah 2, Ayah 10, he said they lie. But according to the Wars
Lizzie.
people, Surah 2, Ayah 10 says they were
It is
lied
very
to.
difficult to speak to
That
people
is
who are
totally
really-
different.
I'll give her-
What's really difficult is that you do not want to confront this material. And you do not, realise that this shows that the Quran has been totally corrupted,
one second.
totally changed.
Excuse me.
Your prophet had
Excuse
no
me.
idea what he was
me.
receiving,
No.
and he was
Don't-
unreliable in his transmission.
Lizzie.
Say that you don't
Everything
understand.
is yet another piece of evidence to show that his prophethood is utterly called into
Lizzie.
Come on.
Whatever the Quran
I'm
prophet-
sorry that you
Gibberish.
don't want to confront
Gibberish.
him.
If Jesus gave you,
Gibberish.
if Jesus gave you a gospel that was written by St.
Jesus
John,
didn't give me a gospel.
If
The
Jesus-
gospel was written by his friends, it was written by
if
eyewitnesses.
Jesus
Not
uttered,
exclusively, but yes,
listen,
it was
He
written
gave
by
you the
If-
gospel in his life.
if
That's well known.
Jesus-
He didn't transmit. This is
Listen.
He gave the gospel in his life.
Listen,
Everybody else, I don't know what
if,
what
if
gave-
Jesus,
what
listen,
word gave the
I want you to understand the comparison. If Jesus spoke about the gospel, he
No,
taught
gave
the gospel,
The
right?
gospel was his life.
He gave the gospels, which was
Okay, you've gone into
wait,
Jesus now
wait.
because
No,
you're
no.
uncomfortable with
Oh,
this
come
material.
on.
Because
you
He's giving
are
an analogy.
failing to understand how this is one Quran.
No,
So
yeah,
when
it's because you
Excuse me.
absolutely cannot demonstrate
Listen.
that you've got one Quran. You
Listen.
cannot do
Listen.
it.
when
The
Jesus
definition of one
gave
Quran
you,
is that which is transmitted from Muhammad. That's the definition.
when Jesus
There is only
gave,
one
makes
such.
it one.
Yes,
Brother,
that makes it one.
when Jesus
That
taught the
makes it
gospel,
one.
taught the gospels.
Try to understand
The
that.
Gospels were written down by several of his disciples, right? Every disciples that write, is this a different gospel of Jesus or is it the same gospel of Jesus?
Yeah, but the difference between
What is yeah, but I don't understand. Is it the same gospel or a different gospel?
the thing is, you're
And I want to understand.
You
When
believe-
several of the
Something
companions
falling out of the bags.
were transmitting what they directly learned from their master Jesus, right? They learned directly. When they are transmitting this gospel, is this gospel number 2, 3, 4, and so on, or is it the same gospel of Jesus? I want you to be clean and clear on this.
It's all the gospel of Jesus.
Is it one gospel or many gospels
No,
of
it's
Jesus?
four gospels. It's exactly
No,
four.
is it the same gospel of Jesus?
many gospels of
or
Jesus are
Gospel, gospel means good news account.
is it listen,
How many pieces of good news are there?
Excuse me.
They're not all exactly the
But
same.
if it's written by
We
him,
don't- we
he's
don't
telling you
pretend-
if it's
Brother, please.
Okay. We don't-
Is this one
No, you're
gospel
not
of
able to.
Jesus
You don't
or many gospels
we
of
don't
Jesus?
pretend that they're all written exactly the same. We don't pretend that. We don't make that claim. You claim that your Quran is one.
No. There's a mistake here.
So
Look.
actually,
The gospel, no. It says the gospel according to
I don't know
Mark.
about the Quran because
How many gospels
The gospel according to
I've
Mark.
answered the
gospel,
question.
the gospel,
I've
the
answered the
gospel.
question.
How many gospels did Jesus
The
speak?
gospel according to
We
Mark.
have four
The
written
gospel.
down. We have
Wait,
four
wait.
gospels written down.
Just to
parts of
clarify
the
this
canon,
one.
parts
How
of
many
the canon,
gospel
they
did
don't
Jesus
all
preach?
exactly agree with each other
Excuse me.
because it's eyewitness.
Lizzie,
It's straight from history.
what's my question?
So I
She
think they don't have to- they're written from
Please.
four different
Let's have one
perspectives. They all
conversation
preach
and we all
exactly
listen,
the
right?
same
Jazakumullah
message.
khairan.
They all preach
Lizzie,
exactly the same message.
here is the question.
Okay.
How many gospels did Jesus preach? One or many?
Jesus. Right, you're confusing. Jesus preached one message, the gospel.
How
Which, by
many
the way,
So you
is everyone
believe?
that God loves you enough to come
Right.
to earth, and if you believe in
Okay,
Him,
brother,
says the
He
gospel
died for
according
you
to
said
you.
you're going to listen,
forgiven
inshallah.
forever.
When he says the gospel
Okay.
according to you, I'm talking about that gospel or not.
He preached one gospel message. Okay?
Please, brothers. So now, Lizzie,
But
as you have
Jesus
demonstrated,
but the gospels
as you
were
have
written
demonstrated-
by his disciples or eyewitnesses or close associates of the eyewitnesses, okay? And we have four of them. We don't pretend that
But this is
we don't
one
have
gospel of Jesus.
lots of different accounts like you have and pretend it's
excuse me,
one.
Lizzie.
Okay, that's a totally
Lizzie,
different thing.
So you've just asserted
You're pretending
there
there's one
is
gospel, actually.
there is one
It says
gospel of
the
Jesus.
when did I ever say that? I didn't.
Did
I
you
said-
say one
The gospel
gospel of
righteousness.
Jesus? Okay. How many gospels did Jesus preach? One or many? I'm asking you.
I don't know why you asked this again. I've answered your question.
Which is
I've
it? Which is
answered
it? One or many?
So the gospel message.
No,
that
not
was
message.
every gospel-
No, not gospel message.
Yes.
How many gospels
Great,
did Jesus
you're giving
preach?
me a chance to preach again, which is the most wonderful thing. That if you trust in Jesus, this is the message. It's
Excuse me.
consistent.
How
It's
many
all the
gospels did Jesus preach? One or
He
many?
answered you. I think you're playing with words, man. You're very cleverly playing with words. You're very cleverly playing
The
with words.
message is
Excuse me.
exactly
Okay.
the same.
I'm going to give you
It's
options.
exactly the same.
In fact, I'm going to give you
Yeah,
options.
it's exactly the same.
To my
across all-
question, how many gospels did Jesus preach? Option number A, one gospel. Option number two, two gospels. 3 or 4. Which one? I've given you 4 options.
Okay, You're confusing two things. You're confusing two things. The message of the gospel.
I'm not talking a message.
The message that
I ask you again, how many
Message-
gospels did Jesus preach?
She's right. She's right on this.
No, she's not.
As you realize, your game is up. Your game is up. So now let's return to the
No,
Quran.
he just doesn't like my
Okay,
answer.
so let's return to the Quran.
Return to the Quran.
I think we
Because
understood.
you're saying-
Your face tells me that you've understood this.
Return to the Quran.
So
It
that's the Quran.
absolutely doesn't
So now-
help your case.
so-
It does not help your case at all. Because I do not
So
claim
now, as you realise-
that those gospels
Lizzie.
have to be word for word the same. I do not claim that.
As you now realize, okay.
You have one perfectly preserved Quran. Okay, and apparently
Lizzie.
it's not that.
Lizzie, as you now realize,
Contradicted in your hadith by the 7 recitations, and it's contradicted by the evidence of history.
keep talking.
Okay.
You're not going to learn. What we establish is this. Just like Jesus preached one gospel to his different companions, they may have recollected it differently slightly here and there, but it is the same one gospel. Using your coherent and consistent argument, if you are going to take that for yourself, the Prophet taught one Quran, but he taught this one Quran in 7 ways of reading to his companions, and each of them transmitted. Because we have criteria of acceptability, if they meet 3 essential criteria, directly trace back to the Prophet in transmission. It is in one of the Rasam of Uthman that he sent to the provinces, and it is
Interesting, but
and it
Uthman
is-
had to
Stop
burn the variant version.
Stop interrupting.
Why did he
Stop
have
interrupting.
that?
Stop interrupting when I'm making a point. Yeah. The third condition was it is acceptable in Arabic language. But the
Very interesting that he can interrupt me, but
the
somehow-
primary condition, the first condition is the transmission. As I said, these 10 readings have been authentically transmitted to the Prophet. Each one of them is acceptable as Quranic readings to the Muslims. So Warsh that you are now giving me examples of, whether there's a difference between قاتل and قتل, يخدعون and يخادعون, ووصى and وأوصى,
It's written the same.
نغفر
Except they
or
are
written
they
the same. You're
contradict
interrupting
each
when
other.
I'm making a point
They
again.
contradict each other. The,
Listen.
the variations in the
Listen.
Bible
Listen.
contradict each other.
Be patient.
They contradict each other.
Listen.
Give an example of a contradiction.
Okay,
Every-
fought and were killed.
Please.
There
There's no
you go.
contradiction. There's no contradiction.
Every
Why is that a
reading,
contradiction? Do you understand what the word
they are
contradiction means?
complementary. Hear the words from every single
Right.
Muslim scholar in planet Earth. They never contradict in meaning. Never contradict in meaning.
They are complementary.
You will never find.
Fought and were killed.
Listen.
I fight you,
Yeah.
I am killed.
Yeah, you
can
can
get
fight
killed.
and then to be
Totally
killed.
You can
different.
fight and be killed.
Listen,
You can
wait.
you can fight and
When
be
you
killed.
fight, do you get killed?
You can. So what?
When people
where's the
fight-
One is active
Wait,
and one is passive.
Contradiction in meaning, right?
There's
You
no-
cannot be active
They
and
are not
passive
contradictory, though.
at the same time.
Lizzie, you seem to assume there's a contradiction in meaning. What we are saying is
There's
the Prophet
complementarity.
allowed the differences because it's all from him and they're complementary. If you, one
not
word
contradictory.
you're going to learn from this conversation today, that these readings are complementary. When you fight each other in battle, you get killed and
Find
you
a
kill.
contradiction. I'm so
That's
sorry.
exactly the other
Find a
readings are
contradiction.
telling.
We punish and get punished.
Yeah. This.
There's another passive-active thing. We
Yeah.
punish.
Where
is the
contradiction
active,
in
Where is the
and
contradiction?
Get punished.
Where is the
Find a contradiction, dear girl. Find a
Okay,
contradiction.
does it mean the same thing if I
Yeah,
just put that in a
yes.
sentence? Get punished.
They are
and we
complementary
punish?
meanings. They're complementary.
When God says, for
We
example,
punish
listen.
the children when they are naughty.
Listen.
The
When
children
God
get
says,
punished when they are naughty. What's the difference
God
in meaning?
forgives you, or He, God, because now God is referring to Himself as a pronoun, He forgives you. Who forgives? It's God. So God can speak in the third person or in the first person. Is this contradictory? What kind of English are you
Find an
talking about?
example that's not touching
The
at
thing
straws.
is, the point is that my eternity isn't dependent on whether or not the 4 gospel writers said everything in exactly the same way. your eternity is based on the trustworthiness of this man receiving directly
you
from
talking about
Allah.
trustworthiness?
Yeah.
Our eternity depends on the forgiveness
Do you
of
trust
Allah.
Jesus?
Divine words that Muslims have argued. No, hang on. Can I just finish my conversation? Right. The Muslims have argued for years and years that we trust the Quran.
Do you trust Jesus?
The Quran has never been changed.
In summary,
it's eternal.
can I-
Whereas your Bible has
Absolutely.
loads of changes in it.
It's not
Our
been
Quran
changed.
has
Quran
never
not
been
been
changed.
changed.
Not one change.
And I was going to demonstrate that to you,
And
which you
no,
did not allow me.
I am showing you examples.
I am
after
about to
example
demonstrate
of how
that the
Quran
Quran
has
was
been
not changed.
So
and
in
your
summary-
eternity isn't dependent on
What's
that.
the-
My
In
eternity
summary,
is
you are not
dependent
accepting a
on-
word that has three ways to read,
Okay, please.
but you accept a God that has three different.
That's a different. That's a whole other afternoon.
Lizzie,
you can watch my video with
Lizzie,
Mansur on that.
Lizzie,
I'm not going to have it. Now.
Lizzie, do you trust Jesus, the one man, the one God?
Oh gosh, here we go.
Do you trust him?
Okay, all right. You've had enough of talking about this.
No, I'm not finished
So
yet.
I'm
I
not
want to talk
gonna-
about the
I'm not gonna-
preservation of the
I'm not
Quran.
gonna- I'm not
I want to
gonna-
talk about the
Well,
myth
you
of the
don't get it.
26th
You
Quran.
don't get it.
Because you told them you don't
If
trust
you're
him.
really afraid to talk about the 26th Quran, maybe get your teacher over
You
here.
wanted to suddenly talk
Excuse me.
about Jesus and man and the Trinity
Douglas,
and all this stuff.
do you
and
bring
I'm
your
not gonna
teacher
talk
over
about
here?
that today.
You're Jesus.
Your boss, has been giving you all this myth.
I don't have a boss.
This is your opportunity to learn.
Boss is in
It's
Cambridge.
not even a boss. And a boss doesn't read Arabic. This is Bernie Power's work.
Ah,
This is Bernie Power's work. He's
do you admit to that? Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know
Anyway.
that.
So what we were demonstrating is this: the Quran has not been changed, and how we were going to do this
How
is this.
can you say that after all of this?
Lizzie.
How can you say this? You can go and get your child
know
who's
how?
read about these 26 crimes. It's
Do you know
got in
how?
red and blue, the differences between this one and that one. There are changes
Lizzie.
absolutely all over it.
Lizzie, listen.
You cannot say anymore that your Quran has not been changed.
Lizzie.
It's simply false.
Lizzie, listen.
And
Are you going to listen?
No, because.
Are you going to listen to let me clarify to you?
It
has the same writing.
Your
Brother,
religion
please.
is based
Do not
on
get
the
involved.
perfect preservation and perfect wisdom of this text.
Lizzie,
and it's been totally
You
changed.
keep waffling the same thing that you're talking about. You're not engaging with it. So what I'm saying is engage with it. Engage.
I am
Look,
engaging with it.
I have
you
look.
just don't like the material.
No,
you
no.
just don't like it.
No,
It's
you
making
don't
me
like the
very
material. Do you know
uncomfortable.
why? How many differences do you know? Only a few.
Okay, but we've only just got them.
No, no,
the
no, you-
research
no, no.
is just beginning. There's going to be
False.
100%
False. Lie. I'm not going to say false anymore. Lie. Blatant lie. The research is not a beginning. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, let me show you that. This education needs to be done to you, right? Okay. These are tabulated tables, of course, tables of the 10 readings of the reading of Hafs in this column, beginning of chapter 1 to all the way to the end of the Quran, right? And this is riwayah of Shu'bah. Hafs was one of the transmitter of Asim, and his fellow student was Shu'bah.
There's differences.
Excuse me,
There are differences, but you still can't
Lizzie,
say there's one Quran. You just can't
Lizzie.
do it. You cannot do it.
Lizzie, brother, what I am educating you on this is this. Your myth of research is going to be put in the bin, down the drain. Do you know why?
Let's see
Do you know
about
why? Do you know why? Because these research that you're talking about, from your ignorance now being enlightening of our tradition, this has been done. Let me
Notice
finish.
how
Let
he
me finish.
insults me
Let
because
me
he's
finish.
panicking. He's panicking, so he resorts
Yes.
to
Do you know why?
insult.
Do you know why I have to say that thing?
Tell me when I've insulted you.
Listen.
I don't insult you.
The only way you can respond back is by saying
I
ad hominem attacks.
Okay?
Lizzie,
So you shouldn't be giving me
Lizzie,
ad hominem attacks.
what I am showing
Both
to you
know
is
that that's
this.
not the way to go.
Refutation number 3, that there will be more research.
listen?
Brother,
Why don't you
please.
listen?
Brother, and you, brother, as well, please, right?
I'm trying.
Thank you, Jazakallah khair. Refutation number 3 or 4, right? Your myth of learning and discovering and new research about the differences, it's going to remain a dream forever. Do you know why it's going to remain a dream forever?
Well, like I said, let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see.
Because this has already been done for thousands of years by the Muslims. As an example, I'm going to give it to you
So
now.
why
Let me
do
finish.
they go on saying there's one Quran if they know the that strikes
Lizzie,
me quite deceitful.
Every time I correct you,
strikes me
you
as
admit I'm corrected and then
you
say,
teach
why?
people
So,
that it's one Quran when it plainly isn't.
Lizzie.
That strikes me as that
Lizzie.
your teachers are not
so,
very trustworthy.
so you agree that your hope or your dream of research and finding new readings is never going to materialize. Why?
agree with that.
Why? Because this has already been done. I'm going to give you some examples, and I'm going to
Okay,
talk
there's the
about.
Hafs and the Warsh, but what about the differences with the others? What about with the other Qurans?
You have no patience, do you? Look how big my folder is.
Yeah, I'm just giving.
Just look how big my folder is. So this is Hafs and Shu'bah. This goes all the way. Obviously, I didn't bring all of it. I brought one page to show to you that books exist long before you even came into Islamic apologetics. Yeah, long before you were even born. Okay, so I'm not making you into a child. I'm saying long before you were born, these differences were tabulated for every single differences they read.
My
Let me
point
finish.
again,
No, I have
why
not
do you
finished.
say there's only one Quran?
I haven't finished yet.
We know about these differences, and yet
Lizzie.
we've allowed our teachers to teach all you guys to effectively lie to
Lizzie.
you and say there is one Quran.
Lizzie, we talked about why one Quran. I refuted you,
haven't yet.
and I debunked your claim, and then, right.
It's
Then,
not convincing.
Lizzie, now to move on to educate you. Look,
The
this is
gospel message has not changed.
Lizzie,
Jesus loves you, God loves
Lizzie,
you, He
Lizzie.
died for you, and you
this
can have peace with
sidetracking
him
is
if
not
you
gonna
believe in
it's
him.
not gonna help. Why?
And repent
Because the
and believe.
Quran is preserved,
He loves you that
and we
much.
will demonstrate to you even
I'll
to
say that to you guys,
listen.
because he loves you.
Do you know
He
how the
loves you
Quran is
too.
preserved? Even to the ah sound and the oo sound.
Right? So the earliest Qurans, did they have vowelizations? Did they have that?
Because the earliest Qurans was
Okay, that's news to me.
listen. When the Quran
I
was
didn't think that was true.
listen, when the Quran was written, do you know why the Quran was written without the vowel signs?
So you're saying, you just made some vowels, I don't know Arabic, but that sounded like vowels to me.
I
Okay,
just
and
said
you're saying it's been
every
preserved
reader.
even with the vowels, and actually the earliest manuscripts don't have the vowelizations.
So how do
So
we
how
know?
can you say it's been preserved with those vowelizations?
Thank you very much.
Without
You've made so far. Right now, this is the question that you should be asking. How do we know? Listen.
Now let him answer it.
How do we know that even the ah sound and the oo sound is preserved? And that's why I'm going to come back to this in a second. That's why I was showing you these tables, which you were running away from. So this is a table of.
I'm not running. No, I've got them. I've got them, hopefully. I've got them right here. I don't want to run away from the tool. You want to run away from the
listen.
fact that they show that there's
Can
no
I finish?
one Quran, that
Can
they
I
have
finish?
two versions.
Can I-
At least two versions of the Quran.
Can I finish now? Thank you very much. Because you asked the question, how do we know they are preserved? Now, one of the readings has been transmitted by, like these teachers, they have two students, transmitters. And they have further transmission.
Yes, you've said this point loads of times, and all of
I haven't finished. You keep interrupting every single time. And you
your
never
friend here
learn.
said, it's because they
You
had
never
true
learn
characters,
in
real
this
true
sitting.
characters. None of us can say that
Excuse
we've
me.
got a perfectly true character.
Listen.
And yet somehow you
Maybe
just
they had
take
the
it
Holy
as
Spirit.
read.
Can you allow
You just
him-
take it as
can you allow
read.
him
Are you going to allow me to make my point?
You're not convincing me.
And then
We're
you
going
can
back
ask
over the
why
same
everyone-
points.
I haven't
Thing is,
finished
Mansur,
though.
you're going over the same
Lizzie,
points.
not convincing.
You keep on
Let him get
rudely interrupting when I'm about to make a point.
It's definitely not convincing.
Yes? You don't find it convincing?
No, I don't
because
either.
You interrupt when I'm trying to make a point.
Because you're making the same points again.
I haven't made a point.
And they're not convincing. You're saying, we've got the differences here. And then you're still saying they're one Quran.
You will
And I'm
never-
coming back
source?
to you. I'm
You'll
coming back
never-
to
Can I have a
you
look at your
saying-
source, please?
I'm coming back to you saying, you see, it's not one Quran.
in
Yes,
Arabic.
it is
I
one
wanna see
Quran.
the
So
source.
we're going around in circles because you
Lizzie,
cannot.
Lizzie,
I
listen.
don't think anybody's
Listen.
convinced that you
Listen.
just have one
Can I
You
have a
know
look
it's
at the source,
recorded,
please?
They're going to get really bored with you. So don't make people to say how boring you are. Have a nice
Another
discussion.
ad hominem. How many ad hominems have we had today, Mansur?
Okay,
You're not
okay,
normally
fine.
like this. Be nice today.
Lizzie,
Okay, please.
Lizzie, do you watch
I don't
any-
do this to
Okay.
you. Don't do it to me.
Okay, Lizzie, do you watch any of these videos? Sometimes. Do you read the comments? Do you read the
I try
comments?
not to.
Read the comments.
I try not to.
Then you'll realize why I'm saying this.
Yeah, no, I think the
Right?
people who write
Do you know how many comments I had to delete which were done to you? Very bad, rude comments?
Yes, now I wonder who
Wait,
wrote
wait.
those comments.
Very silly people, very emotionally mad people. But why am I making this comment? Because of the way you behave in our discussion. So I am saying is this. Let me make my point. Don't make it boring to the people who do this. Right. Okay.
I've not raised my voice.
No, you don't allow it. That's why. You don't allow it to be.
Since you haven't read,
I
next
just
time.
challenged you on your points.
Listen,
That's fair enough.
next time, I would not delete these comments until you've read them. Then I perhaps will delete them. with your permission, right? And I'll leave them, all these F words and B words and whatever words, I'll leave them perhaps. Because people think so highly of you. So my point is this.
I'm not under that impression. I'm not under that impression.
Listen.
Don't worry.
Lizzie.
But it concerns me.
Lizzie.
That suddenly you
Lizzie,
think
hello.
that
You're running away from the subject.
It'll make your
You're-
argument better by
Lizzie,
leaving nasty comments about me on the
You're
internet. I think
running away from the subject.
That's a very
So you
interesting
said,
line.
how do we know that this is preserved? So I'm giving you, this is an example of a reading from one of the 10 readings. His students, there are 4 main students. Abu Tahir.
Yeah, you've told me this again.
I haven't told you, I haven't mentioned the name Abu Tahir before.
Every time you mention something.
Subhanallah, I haven't mentioned Abu Tahir before. So I'm not, for the first time or second time now,
Okay, you know
I'm
what?
telling you. Lizzie,
I'm not going to know because the thing is,
Lizzie, you need an education.
Stay. I want to listen to this. I want to listen to the source.
Thank you, Gary. the
No,
Googler.
stay. I want to listen to the stay. I want to listen
Right.
to the source as well.
Thanks, Gary. the
So,
Googler.
right, let's listen to the source.
Right. So,
I know.
so how do we know?
But you're not going to get the answer that way. So let's listen to the source.
He's not giving me a convincing answer, and I've been here.
Yeah, let's have a
Trying
listen to the
to,
source.
right. So now,
Have you been brainwashed?
Lizzie, okay.
So I'm sorry.
Listen.
So
So now,
this one again.
here,
Okay, there's not.
Lizzie,
one Quran.
listen. If you are
No, there is.
incapable
That's
of,
absolutely true.
Okay.
if you are incapable of it,
Teach
get your
anybody
teacher.
Or listen
Get
to
your teacher. In fact,
anybody
you know what?
who tells you.
Sorry,
there's
I'll cut the
only one
chase.
Quran.
Get your teacher.
Right.
Maybe I
There's
can give you
more
the
than one
education.
Quran.
Muslims, I'm sorry, you've been lied to. There's
Excuse me.
not one Quran.
Listen, oh, now you're waffling again. When the evidence is about to be presented, you keep on going. Okay, brother. Okay, Gary. So what I was saying is, how do we know Quran is preserved even to the R sound and the U sound? Yes. Right. From this 10, oh, she's now disappearing. She
Hey,
can't
come
handle
back here,
it.
lady.
She can't handle it. We have this transmission taught by the Prophet directly to his companions, who taught their students, and all the way back to us. We have this unbroken chain of transmission. It is not one man. The Prophet taught one man who taught another man, and like this. No. These are multiple chains of transmission. An example here is this. When the Prophet taught, one of these imams who learned from him once to the Prophet, he had 4 turuq, of 4 students who translate the Quran. I said here, Al-Fil, Zar'an, Abu Tahir, and Hashimi. We know that these students, how they transmitted, very diligently, every single point, whether they differed or not. The table is too small because of the huge.
Okay, let me ask you
I have not finished. Let me
No,
ask you.
but listen.
No. Let me finish.
Did you listen to them?
I have to listen to reply.
Have you got
Gary,
documentation
don't
inside?
do the same thing.
Go on. Let me
Right,
listen.
thank you, Gary.
And how long is it going to be?
Not very long if you don't
Okay,
interrupt.
okay, go on.
If you interrupt, it will be much long like Lizzie.
No, okay. We've got 30 seconds.
So there's more than 40 or 50 transmission
Yes.
from this one of the reading Hafs from his teacher Hassan. We know how one of the word, the only noticeable difference that is allowed from this more than 45 transmissions, chains of transmission, Da'f and Du'af, the A sound and the U sound. And we know that they both learnt, all of them learnt these both of the readings, Da'f and Du'af. So the reading of Hafs and Asim,
30 seconds are gone.
you're doing the same thing again.
You're giving
I'm just saying, 30 seconds.
You decided to
So
give
what?
30
Who-
seconds.
No, but you can't have.
You decided
No,
to
I
give
can't have a conversation with you.
Are you going to make an exit?
Yes.
Yeah,
Why?
because you're doing exactly the same thing. Oh, 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, but
Since
we have to
when?
have a time limit, don't we?
Excuse me.
Look,
Since
don't
when?
we agree we have to have a dialogue?
Gary,
We need a dialogue, don't we?
since when I
You
agreed
give
to a
me a
30 second
monologue.
limit? Gary, since when I agreed to a 30 second time limit?
What I said.
I didn't agree.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm now
Okay,
saying
okay.
it's my turn.
Talk,
you
talk,
speak
you
10
talk.
seconds.
It's my turn now.
Your turn. I give you 10
Doesn't
seconds.
Exit in the arena.
Okay, your turn.
Put it on camera, he's
Yeah,
gone.
I give you 10 seconds.
Huh?
I'm giving you 10
Right,
seconds.
okay, so go.
10,
Okay.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more 2, 1, 0. You're finished. Now, can I talk?
Now
You did exactly the same
Mayweather,
thing.
Rumi knocked
Don't
you
talk
out
about
in 10
Mayweather.
seconds.
Don't talk about Mayweather.
Right?
Once
So,
Mayweather goes,
hold
let
on
me
a
anything.
second. Stop
I don't
a
want to
minute.
hold on.
Have you got
You're
your documentation?
You're here talking.
Now,
I'll
we
give
have
you
to
30
get-
seconds.
Stop.
You
We
don't
have
wanna
to
talk.
get documentation.
Gary,
man.
Gary,
Because he said
Gary, I don't want to talk.
he's got
Gary,
transmissions
I don't want to talk.
from
Gary,
various.
you're listening to reply,
colleagues.
not listening to
Let's-
learn.
Let's see him then. Uka also.
Let's see him. He was showing
was,
you it.
I mean, Uka also was a photocopy.
Gary, stop
of
attention
whatever
seeking.
document it was.
Stop attention.